Hi, scribes! Let's get right to it. In the last episode, we talked about research being an important first phase of writing a story. As a recap, it's basically this. The first thing to do when you have an idea for a good story is to research the subject matter of that idea. Please, don't just jump straight into writing. It's a novice move. And the last thing you want before you even properly establish your writing career is to be seen as a novice or a lazy writer. Got it? Cool. For those new to this, welcome to Right Now, your free online writing school. It's really good to have you here. Also, please check out the previous episode so you can catch up. Starting right now, let's work on making people for the story world we're trying to create. Excited yet? I know you are. Now that you've done your research and properly understand your story idea, the next thing is creating characters for the story. The simple definition of a character is, a character or characters in a film is the person or persons the film is about. The importance of creating solid characters for your story can't be overemphasized. Let me say that again in another form. You need to learn how to create good characters. They help make your story interesting. The late great Stan Lee, creator of most of the Marvel Universe characters, once said, "To my way of thinking, whether it's a superhero movie or a romance or a comedy or whatever, the most important thing is you've got to understand the character. You've got to be interested. If the characters are interesting, you're halfway there." I totally agree with this. Characters take your story from the beginning to the end. Characters help tell your story the way you want it to be told. Now, interesting characters stay with your audience for as long as possible. This means no one forgets that story in a hurry. You noted I emphasized the word interesting, right? This is why character development comes into play before you write your story, not after. I'll say this again, and louder for those seated at the back. Character development must happen before you write your story. Why is it so important, you ask? It's because you need to understand who you're writing about first before you write the story. I mean, what then are you writing the story for if you don't know who your characters are? There's something called the XYZ of character creation. X means who is the character? Y means what does the character want? Z means what's stopping the character from achieving their goal. This is the simplest form of creating a character. X, Y, Z. Who the character is, what the character wants, what's stopping the character from getting what they want. Now, if we want to be more detailed, which I like to be by the way, character development affects everything from a character's name and physical attributes to their backstory. This is called characterization. Hey, don't get bogged down by the big word. Characterization just means profiling your character. And there are two types of characterization, direct and indirect. Direct characterization describes the character through their physical description, line of work, or passions and pursuits, while indirect characterization describes the character through their thoughts, actions, speech, and dialogue. These two parts, direct and indirect, work together to create a complete picture of who your character is. Direct is about the physical. That's things we can see about the character, things that are obvious. Indirect is about the abstract, things we can't see or touch, things that are innate but typical of that character. Alright, enough theory. Let's get practical. Remember the couple we mentioned in the last episode? Our fictional story of the couple trying to have a child? Remember? Okay, if you've forgotten, or if you're new here and this is your first Right Now episode, you can pause this video, go check out that episode, and come back. Okay? So for our test run, let's profile the husband together. Here's a profile template I like to use. Please note, this template isn't set in stone. In my many years in the film industry, I've met all types of writers with all types of profiling styles for characters. Some with a lot more details like character's catchphrase, favorite food, favorite color, favorite basketball or football team, favorite TV series or movie, etc. The list can be as long as you want. My only advice is make sure your character is well profiled. And by well profiled, I mean make sure all the important details are there. The idea is know your character even better than you know anyone else. Perhaps even better than you know your own sibling. As we go along, you understand why. Next up is creating a very interesting character. But we'll do that in another episode. I really can't wait to see what we come up with. For now, bye. P.S. Questions are always welcome. I love to engage, so let's chat in the comments. Or you can send an email to writenowscribes@gmail.com. I'll say that again. You can send an email to writenowscribes@gmail.com.